Hello, stamping friends. This is Jenny from Celebrate the Journey, and it's Monday. Time for our Facebook Live. It's been a while since I've been able to be on a regular basis, but I think we've got it going right now, at least for a week or two. So I can't get my mouse to cooperate here. There we go. I'm on a mission today to get a lot of Christmas cards done so that we can get them in the mail at the 1st of December. We like to have them done early so we can enjoy the holiday season. And of course, I have a lot of designer series paper, and I need to use it. So I'm going to show you how to make a nice, elegant looking card. No matter what kind of designer series paper you have, you'll be able to make this card. And I usually don't do this. I usually show you the pieces already cut, but I wanted to show you how to do this so that you can get two cut at the same time, and that saves you some extra time. So we're going to use Magical Meadow and some of the designer series paper that is part of this bundle or suite. Isn't that pretty? I love those trees. There's not blue trees in the world, but I guess if it's snowy, we can pretend that there's blue trees. I'm going to put that to the side, and I'm going to put this paper to the side. And I'm going to get my measurements so that I cut them correctly. Hi, Jamie. Thanks for joining me. This card is nothing. We've made this card before. It's a Z-fold card, and so it might be new to some of you, and to others, you'll know we've made this card many, many times. But use different paper, use different stamps, use different ink. So this is our 8.5 by 11, and we're going to go ahead and score it before we cut it. So we're going to score at 5.5. and 2 3/4. And this will give us our basic Z for the base of our card. So now we're going to flip it and cut it at 4 1/4. Now this gives us 2 card bases with the Z. We'll score those with our bone folder in a minute. Now the inside Z is going to be less than 4 1/4. So we need to trim that down. I don't want to waste my paper. So this needs to be 3 by 10. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut it at 6. And now I've got a nice piece of paper I can use for something else. And then I'm going to cut 1 inch off of this, so it will be 10. And then we're going to do our scoring on this one. That didn't cut very good. Let's see if I can see that. It's hard to see with this light on here. There we go. Now we're going to score this. Need the arm out at 7.5. I will post the measurements so you don't have to worry about that. And 4 3/4. And then we'll cut it at 3, and now we'll have the other part of our card. Now this is how you can mass produce cards and get them done all at one time. If you know you want to use red, cut some red ones, and if you know you want to use green, cut some green ones. Get them all done at the same time. You don't have to remember those measurements over and over again. Now we need a piece of paper that will cover this section, and then we need some paper to cover our base card, and so that we'll do that first. And I pulled this from the Oh Holy Night because I kind of like the ombre look. It looks pretty with these, doesn't it look pretty with those trees? So we need the first piece we need. We'll go ahead and do that one. Is 5 1/4 by 4. Now you do have to pay attention here what you're cutting on your next, for your next card. And I'll show you what I mean in a minute. We need 2 of those. Now those are separate because those are 2 different cards. And then I can get another one out of this piece. Now this piece needs to be 4. I have to pay attention here. By 2 1/2. So we'll go ahead and cut 4. And this will be 2 1/2. And we'll want this one to go with this. And then we'll want this one here. Let's see if it looks better. No, it looks okay with that. But I think what I'm going to do is yeah, I'm going to leave it like that. So this is 2 1/2. We should have enough now here for our, correct, this will be for our third card, but we're only going to make 2 here. So we'll put this one here and this one here. Now we've got all our extra pieces we'll put to the side. Now this is what's so cool, is we'll be able to get all these done at one time. Now our front panel, we want to cut it this way so that the trees are going that direction. And we want this, we want 4 1/2 and 4 1/2, so that's 8, 9. I don't want to waste this piece over here, so I'm going to cut that. And then this is going to be 2 3/4. By 4 1/2. And you know what? That's not right, is it? Nope. It's this one here. 4 1/2. There's 2 3/4. Yeah. On my directions, this is called the front panel. So that's where you do need to pay attention. So now we've got pieces for our third card here. And I think we're pretty close to, oh, I know. If you like to have these, if you've got these little pieces left over, we can go ahead and use those. We want them to be 2 3/4. You don't have to do this. but it kind of finishes the card off a little. And so we'll put that by 2.5. I would only do this if I had extra paper left over. And I always have extra paper, don't you? Okay, I think we're ready. I will say I'm pretty sure I had already cut some white for the sentiment, so I won't make you look at that. So now we can put 2 cards together all at one time. And if you were really ambitious, you could do 6 or 8 if you wanted to. Isn't that DSP pretty? I love that snow. We had snow yesterday. It's all gone today. That's the way it always is with our first snow. It doesn't last long because the ground's not cold enough. There's just little bits of snow hanging around, but not much. Since these are our inside pieces. So this is the way our Z fold is going to work, like this. And it will open up and make a cute card. So let's go ahead and do these 2. We want to make sure we use the correct DSP and put it in the correct direction. It looks fun if you, I'll show you some other cards, if you mix up your pattern paper too. And I made several, so I'll show those later. And I have so many more ideas. I just have not, I haven't been home long enough to do cards. And that, but now I'm home and kind of on a roll. So, I don't know why I thought that was the right piece. It's the wrong piece, isn't it? It's this piece. Hello. My brain is still on holiday. It's harder to see this one because it's pretty dark. And I'm going to have to come up with an idea to use all the smaller little pieces that are left over. Maybe little squares on the front of a card. I don't know. We'll see. Alright, so now this is where our prettier paper is going to go. Here. You don't even need to double mat these, and I love double mats, but this is pretty enough without it being double matted, I think. Now remember I said if you had extra, you can put this here. You don't really need this piece, but it's kind of nice to use it up. That's just up to you. You do want to make sure you have hill, valley when you're doing this. Mountain, valley. Now, I know how I intend to put this one together, but if you're, and with the sentiment, but if you're not sure, you need to go ahead and be thinking about your sentiment, your embellishments, before you glue all these pieces down. Because it will make a difference. Well, won't make a huge difference, but it'll make it easier if you kind of know. And so I want to put some ribbon on mine. And I thought this silver sheer ribbon, it looked like Christmas, doesn't it? So we're going to put this here. And see, if you waited to do this after you put it together, it would be a little bit fussy. You could do it, but ribbon's fussy enough for me without making it harder. Hi, Mary. I'm doing well. I hope you're doing well. It's been a while since I've seen you. I know things have been rough, but you're adjusting well. I am proud of you. You know, Tricia, you had more snow than we did. I was going to share a picture when I saw yours, but we didn't. We had about 2 inches. I think you had more. But yeah, we're thawed out. We even went for a walk yesterday, and we're going to go for a walk today, even though it is really cold out there. We're got to get our steps in. And that puppy of yours is so cute. If you ever need somebody to watch him, you can bring Peanut over. He can stay in our yard. Okay, now we've got that pretty fluffy bow. But you have enough kids to watch your puppies, so you probably don't need us. Now we're gonna, we need to do our second card since we're doing 2 at one time. Yeah, see, I thought you had, it looked like you had a lot more. I didn't ask the kids what they had, but if you had that much, they did too. It's funny, we don't even live that far apart and we have that much snow difference. It's just where the clouds form, isn't it? Mary, how much snow did you guys have? And is it Boulder? Right out of Boulder? I bet you guys probably had a little more than we did too. Would have been pretty to see, but we'll have more later. We always laugh and say it snows for Halloween. So you don't need to worry about costumes, just wear a coat. Well, can't feel that bow. Must have not gotten it in there good. Oh, yesterday I was trying to make a bow. It just, I felt like I'd never made a bow in my life. You guys are going to get tired of this. I'm getting tired of it. Okay, get in there. Maybe I cut this a teeny bit short. That might be the problem. Oh, good grief. Let's put a glue dot there and see if that helps. Sometimes that'll, depends on how shaky my hands are. Oh, you had just about like what we had. Okay. Yeah, it was 2.5, 3 inches, but not 6. It'll catch up with us soon. There we go. That was the magic trick. Oh, that's a pretty bow. Even though we fussed and fussed, it's still going to work. Now we can go ahead and put these together. And we're going to adhere them so that that folds up. This is not hard, but you do need to pay attention when you're putting this down so that you don't get the glue on that part. It's a little, I glued one down, so yeah, faux bows are great. I know what you mean. Sometimes I use those. But I did want the fluffy bow here. So you want to do this one first, and you want to make sure that you're getting this behind the that first fold. And now we can wiggle it around and get it lined up kind of towards, you know, look here and here. Now that's ready. And now we can put some adhesive here. Don't put a whole lot because you don't want to go past that. Okay, I'm going to put a block on that while we do our second card. Just got to make sure you don't get glue on your hands. I have glue everywhere all the time. Looks pretty good. This is great to get 2 cards at 2 for the price of 1. And we'll put this one over here. Now we've got a piece for our sentiment. You know, I only have 1, so we'll just do 1. I'll cut 1 later. This is 2 1/4 by 2 3/4. So you can't have a really large sentiment. Something small, but we have lots of small sentiments. Or you can leave it blank and write your own. But since this was Winter Meadow, I'm using the little trees. I'm going to put them at the bottom just to decorate that. It's a little crooked. Maybe I need to practice. I don't know if it'll be any better than next time, but we'll try. I think that's better. And now the sentiment is, may this season of sparkle bring joy and delight. This is a thin line, so I kind of hold it down long enough for it to get a good coverage. Now we can put that on our inside. And of course now we need something to decorate here, even though that is pretty. It still needs a little something, something. So we're going to stamp Winter Wishes. And I don't think, oh, here it is. It's holding that other one down. So see, I better do that way. And we're going to cut this, die cut it with stylish, whatever, stylish labels. Is that what that's called these days? Too many names. I'm looking for my tape. Hold that down. And then I'm going to die cut a piece of blue scallop to go behind it. Remember that piece we saved? We rescued, so we can use that. We can do both at the same time. That fell right on the floor. And then we can put that on with some adhesives. Oh, good, Karen. Thanks for popping in. You can watch the replay, but it's not. You'll know how to do this by. So that will go. Well, we need to put this one on the one that's got the greeting on the inside. We're going to put that there. I think that kind of finishes it off there. So we'll put this on with dimensionals. You don't want to cover up that beautiful paper. That's what I was trying to keep that paper. Let it be the star of the show. I know some of our paper has been out of stock, but I think this one is in stock right now. So if you want to make some, this would be good for a winter birthday. You could do winter and then change that to birthday. And now I'm going to use some of these snowflakes. These are an online special, so they're not in the catalog. I thought there was 2 sheets. I don't know where. So if you want these snowflakes, you'll want to look at the online only section of the online store. So we're going to put some little snowflakes there. They don't really pop because they're white. We're going to make them pop. We have the large one, the medium one, and the small one. And then they have a little, these are sequins, I guess. So they have a hole in the center. So we're going to put some of this, my favorite sparkly bling on it. Got to get this out here. So we'll use the 2 mediums. That helps you draw your eye to those snowflakes. And then a small one. So that got us 2 cards. I do need to go back and finish this one. Well, like I said, we all have tons of designer series paper. So I was looking around to see what I could do with this same layout. Double Z card, I guess. Well, this is some of the same paper. I haven't glued this one down. From Winter Meadow, and I just added some of those little snowflake the sparkle sequins that went with the polar bear. I think that's what that one was for. So this is the same as the blue one, but it's that pretty greenish. I did this with Lost Lagoon, and it came out pretty too. Now a little different is this paper that's online special that has little stockings. I fussy cut a couple of them. Used 2 different patterns of paper. I thought that was cute. It's got speckled dots. That's about the green. It's kind of green, and it's got some sparkle in it. And then I, of course, pulled out my favorite polar bear, and I used the back side of that has the little trees, and fussy cut some of the packages from the paper. And these trees are from the Merriest Trees bundle. And I just cut 2 of those to kind of go behind the snowman so he wouldn't get lost. I mean, the polar bear. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 very different cards, but the same layout. I would love for you to try this and post your card if you make one. I'd like to see it. I will put the measurements here later on. I don't know if I'll do it right this minute, but we'll get them up before the end of the day. Thanks for joining me today. Bye.